on today's Retro Robin show, we're going to talk about one or two games where you can design your own level, design everything. So join me for the Retro Robin show. It's some pretty interesting stuff, and we've got a few little updates on the Spectrum Next for you as well. Also, I have a confession to make. You'll be horrified! Or maybe you won't be. Hit the titles! Hello, welcome to the Retro Robin show with me, Wayne Retro Robbins. So, if you love a bit of 8-bit, well then you're going to love a bit of me. So, what's on the agenda today? Well, we're going to talk about games you design yourself. Games where you don't need to be a coder to create your own sprites, or create your own level, or even design your own car. Games that are fun to play because you can create your own type of level. What are we talking about? Well, you'll find out in a minute. A couple of pieces of information first of all. If you've been on the Spectrum Next website, you'll see that they've done a couple of updates and they've showed you their branded SD card and the switch with the Spectrum Next name on it. And also, if you've missed the Kickstarter, you've got a chance, obviously pre-order, to buy your Spectrum Next now. The other bit of information is, yes, I'm ashamed to admit it. No, to be fair, it's all for good reason. I have purchased a Commodore, so as I can go compare. Yeah, I'm going to compare Spectrum games to Commodore games and see which one wins. There's a fight to come in. Ooh, old wounds never heal, and I'm going to prise them open. So, what are we talking about on today's show? Games you can design yourself. So the only way I can explain what it is we're going to do is I'm going to show you one or two games where you design your own level. So switching on my Omni 128, I'll go straight into my files. And of course, as always, you have to bear with me. So the first game we're going to have a look at is a classic game from Arcade Conversion. The game was a slightly different name of the arcade machine, but you'll know it as Penetrator. And most of you know what's going to go on here, but some people may not have actually seen this game, and this is also for the benefits of them. Penetrator, like the little firework display. Shall we zoom in? Give me a second while I just zip up for you. There we go, nice big picture today. And hopefully, whoops, bit of Retro Robin's dodgy camera work as always. Let's go straight to the game. First of all, we'll play the game. So you can design your level in this game, but the game is effectively pretty good anyway. So, such a classic game. I'm having fun playing this. I like the way that the colour backgrounds, I mean, it's such a great conversion, isn't it, for the Spectrum? I mean, when I first saw this, it was brilliant. But if you're rubbish at it, you didn't need pokes or hacks. No, you could just alter the levels, and I'll show you how to do that now. And the way you use QAOP and M will drop the grenades, but if you press P fast, you get to fire forwards. And already I've made to the next level. Anyway, we're not here to play this game, are we? So let's load it back up again quickly, rather than keep dying. Show you what you can do. Well, if you didn't like it and you was found it a bit hard, you could simplify the levels, or you could design your own terrain. So that's exactly what we're going to do now. We're going to design our own terrain. But we're not going to do that all the way through. We're just going to show you the way you can cheat. And as soon as the options come up, I'll press the button for you. So we want to go to E for the editor. And the first thing you do is you've selected your level. If you hold down cap shift, you can move forwards, back, up and down QA and P. And of course, if you want to walk to the bottom, you basically press B for bottom. And if you go up slightly, you can make it a bit less steep. There we go. And it's R for rockets and M for missiles, I think it is. So we can just zip through it a bit further. Supposing you didn't like certain bits that were a bit hard, like this one, just press bottom. And there you go. So if you wanted to put extra missiles in and make it even harder for yourself, just go back a few paces. We could add a missile there. Boom. And if you wanted to add a radar, you press radar. Hold down shift, go forwards. And we get to a slightly more simplified version. And of course you could also get these rockets to destroy the cells by leaving them on a slope slightly. So now we've simplified that, we just let the landing strip there. All we got to do is press C. I think it's enter and naught, isn't it? That's it. We can play that level that we've just designed and simplified it. And any minute now we'll press 1. And because we simplified it, we don't need to use the cheat for this, do we? Because we can well, there you go, not such a high hill. Tell you what, if I die on a simplified level, I just did. I've got to get a bit further. I've got to show you the bit I've designed myself, haven't I? Dear me. Retro Robins, you're absolutely useless. These were so much easier to play as adults, weren't they? And there's my extra rocket I've put in. I want to get to the bit I've just there's my slight slope, and there you can see that long bit there across. That was me. So there's one game that we've done. So let's move on to another game. What about if you wanted to a classic shoot 'em up and you wanted to design your own sprites? Some of you may remember this, some of you may not have seen this. Games designer. So first of all, you select the type. You've got 1 to 8 different types of shoot 'em up. Side ones, up ones. You've even got one where you got a club in your bash. So we'll select game. We'll go for select game. We want to go for game 3 because that's my favourite. We'll play the game first of all. Oops, I forget. That's it. It's just a classic shoot 'em up, isn't it? Left and right, the cursor keys, and that's them. Yeah. So you get the general idea. But what happens if you want to do your own type of game? Well, you can do that as well. So let's go back to Game Designer. This time we're going to go into you can adjust the movement as well by pressing 5. You can adjust the movement, attack sequence, configuration, but we're going to design a game. So let's go into number 3s. We press, first of all, let's select the game. We're going to go back to number 3, and then we're going to design a sprite. Well, you can see there from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there's the sprites. So if you wanted to change that sprite, let's go for 0, 0, right? There it is. So by pressing 1, 2, 3, see how I'm putting those little blocks in? We can change the sprite. So what we'll do is we'll use, I think it's 7 and 8 to move up and down. I'll get you. Okay, so let's move down, shall we? And of course you need one to, let's move that out of the way, shall we? That's 9 swaps you over, 7 and 8 up and down. Right, so we'll go up at 1. Just keep swapping side till you get in a good design. And then we'll go, we're just going to bring his legs in. We're not going to go for a big sprite design. Oh no, I want that one there, don't I? So swap over there. We'll give him something that looks a little bit like missiles. So that once you've done that, we press enter to finish. And then we go enter again, and we can play that game. And now you can see the slightly where I've got his legs moving a bit more. You've designed your own. We can go all the way through that. So there's a game that you can design your own sprites and create your own type of Space Invader. But we can go one better than that. Bear with me, I'll just load the next game. Reset the computer a second. So we've reset the computer now. We'll go on to another game that I thought was quite interesting. This one was a little bit different. Battle Cars from Games Workshop. Quality game. You got a circuit, you can drive round, you can leave all sorts of bombs, and you try and destroy your opponent by leaving mines. You got a smoke, you can fit your car with a laser. But we're going to go straight to the car designer. There we go. And we're going to design a car. So four is what we're going to do. We can examine your existing cars and improve them on and design a car. But unfortunately, it all costs money. So we ask you which car you want to design. We're going to go for number 2. Right, so we're redesigning number 2. Input driver's name. Good enough. Driver, and of course each driver's cost a bit more money than others. We're just going to go for one for now, an amateur. Chassis, small, medium or large. Obviously if you have the money you have the bigger chassis, but we haven't got the money, so we're going to go for medium. And there it is. You design your wheels small, medium or large. We'll go for the big bad boy wheels. There you go. Engine, we'll put a small one in. Generally getting the idea here. Fuel tank, well, we want a bit of medium. We haven't got such a big engine. Right, front armour, light, heavy or medium. We'll go for a light one at the front, and we'll go for a heavy one at the back. Oh, sorry, sides are heavy. Medium at the back. So we've got a variation of armour there. And then you want your car to be auto steering. Auto steering. Yeah, no, it doesn't matter. We're not showing you that much. Brakes. Yes. Okay. Turbocharger. Yes. Oh, you got a computer on board? No, we can't afford that. Look how much the computer is. So if you've had a lot of games, if we did that, your weapons submission forward. So what we're going to have at the front? Well, the most expensive one will be number 5, a laser. And you've got to choose 1 to 4, and we can only afford one of them. There you go. Rear. We're going to have 4. We'll have the smoke. How many? 2. We'll have mines at there, 3. And so on, so forth, until you eventually fill your car up with weapons. Oil. Yeah, you can leave an oil slick. Yeah, got 1. How many? We'll have 4. That'll make the car skid off the road. If he's following you, of course. Caps and 2 to finish, or press any other key. Okay, so we just want to play the game with that car, which we can do. You choose the file name. I think it's as it runs through, it loads again. But anyway, you get the general idea. And the thing is with Battle Cars, it was mainly a basic game, but you could design your own car, save that to tape, load that in from tape, and of course I know a cheat for that. Let M, which surprisingly was money. Now you've got more money. Shh, don't tell them I told you. Simply break it. Break the game by pressing caps and brake. Let M equal whatever as much as you like, within reason, and then just type continue, and the game will continue to run. And that was a way around that one. So let's move on to the last game, and this one was a bit more of a tough one to use as a designer. It was 5 players, and it was effectively a rapid game where you go through the rapids. So we'll go for 4. I'll show you the game first of all. That's it. You have got to guide yourself through those. Just like playing, I think those ones you have to go through backwards, don't you, or something. So yeah, but if you didn't like the course, or you didn't want this course, or you wanted to design your own course even harder than this, you could, and you could also save your course. And I'll show you that in a minute. Games where you can design your own game. Who needs real good progress? Yeah, we could all get together and design our own tougher levels and challenge each other, couldn't we, if we wanted to? We don't have the time nowadays like we used to when we was kids, do we? The thing is about this game, you can get stuck on the rocks and it can be quite annoying. Like there, do you know, where you get stuck on things. Wasn't one of my favourite games, but we're not going to play it anymore. Let's actually design and show you how the design works. So we're going to go to designer. It tells which part of the course. We're going to go for 1. And obviously it's QAOP&M to move, and you can see that red square. And then over there on this side, I don't know to point it out to you, but you can see 3 squares. Well, if you press Z, you can choose the blocks you want. So if you wanted to put one of those in another gate, then to put them in you have to press N, I think. And then you've just got another gate. But if you wanted to change the, say, if you wanted to remove that, you press 0. You can make it a little bit easier. There we go. And now we've got 2 blank squares, so we've got to find the right type of edge there. And you can see all the different edges you can choose. And we'll go there, we'll press that one, so we want M for there. And effectively, by using all these different things which I'm rotating through now, you can design your own type of layout. It's a little time consuming. For instance, if I wanted to blank all these off, because I don't like the rough water coming from there and I wanted a smoother water, I could do so. And we need to find the right one. We need to, you scroll through them pretty fast. We want something smaller, don't we? So it isn't as rough. Almost as if it's canal cutting. If you haven't seen this game before, yeah, it's a lot of fun to play. It's a lot of fun to design your own games more so. There we go, that'll do it. We'll put one of them in, look. Not so much rough water. And then you can preview that. Or you can pick concrete blocks. So there you go, games. You can design your own little game inside. And there's many games like that. But finding them and learning how to use them. My favourite personally is Penetrator, because I used to spend hours on that doing wicked landscapes, but most of us, you have to save it to tape and then play it. So there you go, and that was the Retro Robin Show. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, of course, as always, please remember to like, share and subscribe if you haven't already. If you have, I appreciate your company, and as always, I'll be posting 1 or 2 little fun questions on the all these Spectrum social media sites on Facebook I can. If you take part in that, I appreciate it as always. But for me, Wayne Retro Robbins, remember, if you love a bit of 8-bit, you're going to love a bit of me. So, I'll see you again soon. Take care, have a nice working week or weekend. Bye for now.